man that talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me not like people tell lie for me. I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager, and another one. Now, it is important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness' attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Holness said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Holness being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
I needed a little clarity myself, so just to be clear. So let's say, for example, a special report is tabled on the matter that the country is waiting to hear, the illicit 6. That would come to the House and go straight to the...
On a point of order, I do not know of what you're speaking, member. I don't know. Please remove that comment. Please remove that comment. That comment is inappropriate, doesn't belong in the House, and is not included in any document submitted in this honorable House. Please remove your comment.
I've heard what you said, Madam Speaker.
And Hansel, please strike the comment.
Good morning, family. How you guys doing? May you have a wonderful day. Let's go at it, people. These people, these labor right people are something else. No, them are going like say, Mr. Pantan commit these type of crime. So Mr. Pantan need to step down. Mr. Pantan is the investigator. Dig up dirt, him around the Integrity Commission. The group of people find Andrew Holness to be very dishonest and crooked. Almost, oh, well, criminal. Would you say it's criminal? What the prime minister in office is doing, has done, and is probably still doing? The investigators investigated crooked Andrew Holness. And instead of the dirty labor right them, on the dirty bus, asked that Andrew Holness step down. They're asking that the investigator step down. Never hear anything like that? They're asking that the investigator step down, Mr. Panther. When I hear myself, people, Andrew Holness is caught with his hand in the cookie jar, not Mr. Panton. They're asking that Mr. Panton step down. They want to decapitate the leadership of the IC. They want to start destroy it. They might try to see if they can destroy the Integrity Commission. Then you hear a Riverton dump resident coming and talk about money, about funding for the IC. Like him think he want to withdraw funding, not knowing, try to pull some stunt like the IC no audit, have not been audited for years, only to find out the people have been audited, they do them audit every year and send it to Parliament, which it dunce Riverton dump residents never read. Why me never read it before coming to Parliament and open more? Imagine 6 years worth of report been sent into Parliament and the dirty man not read it. Eh? Me say what happened at Parliament there is an embarrassment to the Labour Party because first the people know say who knows a rat it done. At first we know say who knows a done and don't know the law. They were like uno were like a little child before the Integrity Commission. Uno was like little pitney. Uno like some idiot to ask question where what do lawmakers do. That's why Mr. Panton said. That's why it was reported that you guys are stupid, basically, what the Integrity Commission is saying. So instead of get rid of the thief, you want to get rid of the police. Make sense out of that. That's some Trump shit. But Andrew Holness is not Trump. No, Andrew Holness is not Trump. Trump not do the shit where you do, man. Trump not do the shit where you do, Andrew Holness. Nah, man. Can't compare to Trump. You can't compare to Trump because even when Trump in a power, me not suffer. People not suffer, yes, sir. You are garbage, Andrew Holness. You're a pile of stench garbage. You should be in office. Andrew Holness should be in office. What are you doing in office, Andrew Holness? Even anybody. You want to tell me if a principal is under investigation, the principal get to stay in the office? If a police officer is under investigation, the police officer get to stay in office? If a soldier is under investigation, does a soldier get to stay in office until that soldier feel like? Yeah? Me ask, but you think it's right to ask that the police who investigate a criminal step down? You think it's right to ask the cops who investigate the criminal to step down, or you want the criminal to step down? Andrew Holness should never sit down in the office right now talk about say he might preside over the nation and I go meet foreign people on our behalf. If he go away, he have no shame. He's not my prime minister. But just tell him there the first time I come on my platform and say it's not my prime minister. Over the years, me there someone say regardless. If a man asks me who's my prime minister, me not say Andrew Holness. But right now, my prime minister not so cooking. No, you're not my prime minister. My prime minister is supposed to set example. My prime minister set example of integrity, class, good character. My prime minister can't be so cooking. My prime minister no move money around like this from your account to your parents' account. My prime minister can't get them parents caught up in them crookedness. My prime minister can't thief from their own charity. My prime minister can't take from charity, the charity where I give poor people. And before them, look at this man that take from charity. And before the labor right, them tell him to step down. They might tell him man will investigate him to step down. The man take from charity. The man constituency is poor Jamaica. It's a poor community. And before the man gladly take the charity money and uplift his neighborhood. Not even a bus stop, the man go build out of the charity money. The man take the money from charity by stocks and bond. And you are come tell the investigators them to step down. A shame you not have. A shame you not have this man use freaking charity money upon himself. And the investigators will find out say man use charity money upon himself. They might ask investigators to step down. Mr. Panther, do not step down, sir. Do not step down. Do not step down is a hole they want to find to blow this stuff up. They want to find a hole to blow this stuff up. Mr. Panther, they're working for the people. You know, I work for these criminals, and they already said it. Them can't chat to you, only the court can chat to you. So all they can talk and just flap up them goddamn mouth. Stay, sir, because the rest of us want you to do a thorough job. We need God really, Jamaica. Yeah? And we as Jamaican, we respect the work that you are doing, honestly. Continue to do the great work, sir. And congratulations for the good job you do. And sorry at the same time for to see all this piece of dog doo in a parliament who not deserve to stay in an office. Try to deal with you. Hold on, the people. What'll happen right here? Understand me? Or they try to deal with this man. Whether them are the crook. Them are the crook. Listen to the Prime Minister. Use charity money upon himself. And before them ask that piece of crap to step down, them ask the man to investigate him. Makes sense out of that.
This is actually one of the more disturbing features, because what the investigation of the Integrity Commission has revealed is that funds were used from a charity. It's called Positive Foundation, Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charity which, you know, by definition would have charitable purposes. And some funds in the region of approximately $32,000 US dollars were diverted to pay for a bond in the name of Mr. Holness.
Or his company, his personal company.
And I believe at some point it may have been either in his or his personal holding company, which he owns 100%. And it remained in that form for the life of the bond until it was called. And it was only after the bond had been redeemed and that transaction was now, in a sense, extinct.
Is it reasonable
that, just allow me to finish, that upon questioning by the Director of Investigation, that an attempt was made to repay that charitable foundation. So approximately 4 years had elapsed when the funds from the charitable foundation had been used to partially pay for a bond in the name of or for the benefit of Mr. Holness.
And the interest payments on the bond went into him or his personal company's account. And it's only when the Integrity Commission itself looked into this thing and said, hey, but some of the funding for this, 32,000 US of the 94,000 US cost of the bond, came from a charity with which Mr. Holness is very closely associated and is a director. That the necessary rearrangements of the thing were done and the money was returned to the charity. So for several years, he declared that bond as being his or his company's, and he received the payments under that bond.
People, the investigators, the same investigators were finding corruption when he was working at the Ministry of Education, sending business to himself. Is that the first people and the second time them work on the investigate on the now them are go after the investigator. Before they take what they cook. It's the second time was a skullduggery. This is the third time because the first time was Zara Burton. This is the man them are trying to keep in an office. This is the man that I try to keep in the office. The investigator, do them job. But instead of asking the crook to leave office while the investigation are going on, they will pressure the investigator, Mr. Pantan, to step down. Listen this. Andrew Holness to step down out of office.
Every poor man must build his castle. Every poor man must build him big house.
He became Jamaica's newest prime minister despite controversy about his big house.
Join us in a partnership for prosperity.
We uncover a trail of property purchases and ask, is Andrew Holness paying his part?
Is that why you didn't pay the property taxes on the home?
What the Prime Minister didn't want you to know before the election. And later, Holness.
People, this man shady before he become a prime. People make sure you say Andrew Holness doing business in the office. This man have been shady way before he become a prime minister. Guys, can you hear 18 Degrees North properly? Can we go play this over and over? It's gonna be the national anthem to backside. Because people need to know how shady of a prime minister this brother is. Way before he become a prime minister. And this is what they want to discredit the investigator and keep the crook. They want to keep the crook and get rid of the investigator. Me say they want to keep the crook and destroy the investigator. They want to destroy the Integrity Commission because of them are investigating and some Donald Trump shit this. Let me say, you can't hear the report, guys, because we want to know so they can't hear. We need to dash it out there. People need to hear every minute of the day the kind of crooked leader Andrew Holness is. People don't even know how sticky of a finger man this. Mr. Finger Smith. People need to know, say, this man make it look like everybody from Cumberland Road, Spanish Town, a thief. Yeah? The people need to know. They don't ask this man have a step down. But they ask investigator. I'm going to listen.
Sounds the warning on corruption to his new cabinet.
Every poor man must build his castle. Every poor man must build him big house.
He became Jamaica's newest prime minister despite controversy about his big house.
Join us in a partnership for prosperity.
We uncover a trail of property purchases and ask, is Andrew Holness paying his part?
Is that why you didn't pay the property taxes on the home?
What the Prime Minister didn't want you to know before the election. And later, Holness sounds the warning on corruption to his new cabinet.
Corruption will not be tolerated in this government.
But does his own record raise questions when it comes to awarding public contracts?
When each side is in government, there are uncomfortable levels of awarding of contracts to persons who are either political supporters, campaign financiers, or other.
Guys, when I hear the report, I want to know if you guys are hearing this report. Loud and clear, nice and crisp, let me know. All right, comment section, talk. When I hear it, talk to me.
Connected parties.
We reveal how Holness signed off on taxpayer money for a contract to his associates on this episode of 18 Degrees North.
Do you hear that?
People, them not ask the crook to leave office. They not ask the crook to leave. Them not ask the investigator to step down. The crook, while the crook still must survive. Yeah, people, them not ask the crook to leave. People, they must ask the crook to stay in the office, but the investigator man who investigating must come out of the office. You never see the nonsense yet, people? I want you to tell me in the comment section, can you hear?
Of 18 Degrees North.
You're crooked in the Prime Minister is. Look where you're crooked this man is. The same son of Prime Minister.
18 Degrees North is good to you, boy.
You're like me.
Or me.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me not like people tell lie for me.
calculating me on transfers and balance thresholds with convenient mobile and online banking. That's security for me and saves time for other important things.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want Labour rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, I'm Zara Burton, and welcome to 18 Degrees North. It's from right here in Kingston, Jamaica, 18 degrees north of the equator. Where every week, we're going to take you on a global journey with us as we focus on Caribbean stories that have global impact.
Real crook. Yeah, that's it.
We begin our show with Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. During the 2016 general elections, his house became front and center. The public, and perhaps more so the ruling People's National Party, they wanted to know why a St. Lucian company owned his house and where he got the money, since news reports had put its value at about $2 million, a figure Holness has not confirmed. After all, Holness had been a politician most of his professional life, didn't come from money, and his salary at the time was just over $60,000 each year, not counting allowances. Holness answered several of the questions asked, but we at 18 Degrees North had others. What we found was an interesting series of property purchases and an uneven playing field when it comes to personal tax matters. It also shed light on the relationship between Jamaican politicians and their associates in the awarding of public contracts. We're staying right here in Jamaica at 18 degrees north and 77 degrees west.
And I've been a crook. Way before him should have stepped down.
The Labour Party believe that every poor man must build his chattel. Every poor man must build him big house. And we not grudge of it. We are going to help you to achieve that. That is why we say education be free, health be free, and we must make the place secure so you can live and enjoy yourself.
This is the house, built on 3/4 of an acre, complete with stone-cut wall in the exclusive Beverly Hills neighborhood just outside Kingston. It's a huge upgrade from where Jamaica's newest Prime Minister and then opposition leader Andrew Holness says he was born.
I was born in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road in a Spanish town. My father is still a farmer and my mother is a retired civil servant.
Property records showed the Beverly Hills land was purchased by a St. Lucian-based company, AdMat Incorporated, for $300,000.
People, more if you understand when you listen to this, who the hell should step down? They want the investigator step down. This has already been crooked before he become a prime minister. This is Zara Burton on him. Then the IC, the Integrity Commission, did another one on him. Right? And the third investigation from the brother, one from Zara Burton, which stem the investigation from the Integrity Commission, him at Western Construction as a prime minister, as a member, as a member, he was the Minister of Education. And when he was going on over there, was diverting business straight to him job. No bid contract, no procurement measures were observed. Straight in them own pocket. Tell me who must step down. The crook or the investigators? Tell me who must step down and go one side now. A long time the brother have a problem of finger problem. A long time the man have a finger fearing problem. Make we listen.
Wall in the exclusive Beverly Hills neighborhood just outside Kingston. It's a huge upgrade from where Jamaica's newest Prime Minister and then opposition leader Andrew Holness says he was born.
I was born in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road in a Spanish town. My father is still a farmer and my mother is a retired civil servant.
All right. Never come from money. Parents them are left no dollar. So you're so rich. How you so rich? And that's what the investigator say. How you so rich? Your father a farmer, mama a civil servant. How you so rich? How you are run money through them account? You claim say you never know. You tell in a parliament say you never know it's an account them are from 1975. And how they just put it on as a security like anybody do. When it come to find about the investigator, you can't like the investigators. But the rest of them, remember 49 of them. And there are 48 people make one man drag them down. You have 48 idiots in parliament. Don't see the need to get rid of the one germs who are destroy the country and destroy the party. So now the whole of them are the same thing. I want to see the whole of them come out of office. I'm not a liar.
Property records show the Beverly Hills land was purchased by St. Lucian-based company AdMat Incorporated for $300,000 in 2011, 3 months before Holness became Prime Minister of Jamaica for the first time, and when he was Minister of Education. There's no mortgage listed. In a statement, Holness says he's a sole director of AdMat and a shareholder, along with his two sons, Adam and Matthew. Holness says he got the money from funds in his accounts at two of Jamaica's investment banks and used his savings, salary, loans, and credit from suppliers established through his wife, who is a real estate developer, to build the house, costing him approximately $52 million, or around $525,000 US. He says the St. Lucian structure was used for estate planning. His attorney, Patrick Bailey, says there's that and the additional potential benefit of avoiding transfer taxes.
If the house at Beverly Hills is the only asset and he was selling it, he would simply sell the company, sell the shares. The company would have its shareholding transferred from him and his children to the new purchasers, whereas the title would remain unchanged because the new purchaser will be the owners of AdMat and be the owners of the property. So in that case, there's no transfer from one entity to another. So you save on transfer tax and stamp duties and those sorts of things.
Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says the leader of the country shouldn't be trying to avoid taxes.
Especially if you're a prime minister and you're telling your citizens that they need to conform to the regulatory environment that you have designed, that you do not think you can adhere to.
Same thing right here. Him design the tax thing. But him don't adhere to it. Like how him implement the Integrity Commission, but he don't adhere to it. Does this man have a pattern? Does this man have a pattern? Whatever no work for him, him no want adhere to it. He want mash it up and all them stuff. Remember, make a watch it. Who should step down? Who should we get rid of? Mr. Panton or the criminal? Should we get rid of Mr. Panton or the criminal? Comment section, talk to me. Let me tell you something. Should we get rid of Mr. Panton or the man who have the long track record, the rap sheet, the real criminal? Eh? Who should we remove? Mr. Panton or the criminal? But Jamaica politicians think we should keep the criminal, remove Mr. Panton. Jamaica politicians think we should keep the criminal, remove the investigator. You think we can be better? Real criminal sympathizer. And I have no goddamn sense.
Transfer tax and stamp duties and those sorts of things.
Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says the leader of the country shouldn't be trying to avoid taxes.
Painful.
Especially if you're a prime minister and you're telling your citizens that they need to conform to the regulatory environment that you have designed, that you do not think you can adhere to, because it is inimical to your interest to adhere to it, or inimical to the interest of your children's future to adhere to it, then there is a major, there's a major inconsistency there that you need to explain.
If you're not making $158,000 per year, but you'd like to.
People, go to a short break, I'll be right back.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me don't like people tell lie for me.
So now, people, listen this carefully and tell me who should I step down. Is it the investigator, Mr. Panton, or the crook? Listen.
Program called QuickBooks there that you need to explain. Join us in a partnership for prosperity. Let's change Jamaica for the better. Choose prosperity.
Does he own other entities in there, in ADMAT?
In ADMAT?
Yeah.
I think he has at least one other property in ADMAT.
And where is that?
That is in somewhere in the Arcadia area, right?
And that's considered land or also?
No, it's an apartment. Actually, he's now in the process of selling that unit. He owes suppliers, because suppliers.
Shut up a liar mouth, because this liar need to be investigated, you know. Don't forget the Prime Minister liar is where they go find a man dirted in them house. They find a dead body in the man's house. Man suffered from gunshot and knife wound. Right in the house. There was no break-in, no forced entry. Up till now, there is no proper investigation that is known to I and the public going on with the Prime Minister's lawyer. I repeat, they find a body inside the Prime Minister's lawyer's house, in them house. He was saying, get up and stumble over the body. There, we don't hear about no investigation. The man suffered knife wound and gunshot wound. So you talk about corn a pop in your house, man a pop corn in your house, and you don't hear it. Man a struggle and a fight in your house, and you don't hear it. You only came out to a body in your house, so you stumble over it. And him liar was put on bed rest. But listen to the liar if I want a real con man. Because show you the history of the man in the office where them I want to keep. The man have a rap sheet. The man rap sheet longer than any criminal and gang member. The man have a rap sheet. And they want to remove the investigator and keep the criminal. Does that make sense?
I gave him credit for the house he's building in Beverly Hills.
And source of funds for that was what?
That one, I can't recall all of those details, but I seem to remember that he has always used the house that he lives in and get loans and that sort of thing.
We checked the title for the property where Bailey says both Holness and his wife lived at the time of our interview and found no additional loans or mortgages other than those originally taken out in 2002 when they bought the house for 7 million Jamaican dollars, around 144,000 US dollars back then. So you were satisfied then with the source of the funds in both cases?
Oh, absolutely. He saved in US stocks and amongst his portfolio. So he was saving because these are savings.
Is that savings from him alone or him and his wife?
I don't know that level of personal detail. So that would be. I don't know that level.
Of what you know, is there any evidence?
I know of nothing. I know of nothing else that he owns in relation to ADMAT. Okay. He currently owns it.
We checked the title for the Arcadia property and found that it was indeed purchased by the same St. Lucian company, ADMAT Incorporated, in 2008, again when Holness was Minister of Education. Yeah. The price tag, 16 million Jamaican dollars.
Yes, and the liar was struck down in bar from operating because they found his liar to be corrupt. I mean, there's no doubt if this man is corrupt, just listen to him attack. There's no doubt that the liar is a con man. They found man dead in them house and there's no known investigation about it. Fitz Bailey tell you some other stuff. There's so much corruption under this one party. When them come out of office, we need some proper investigation. You have the brother, when the name from at the prison there, man, I work at the prison, where they go find it over Spurtree Hill there. These files need to dig up. There's a lot of investigation need to go on under this crooked brother here, what they want to keep. They want to get rid of the investigator and keep the criminal. They want to get rid of remember, you know, this is not even the Integrity Commission, you know. This is Zara Burton from 18 Degrees North. At 3 times I hear about this man cooking this. Zara Burton, then the Integrity Commission office investigated it and approved Zara Burton findings because this is a report that stemmed the first investigation upon this man. And the Integrity Commission report was spot on, so it showed that Zara Burton, 18 Degrees North, the work is credible. That the investigators did their work, find such man with the pants down. It's not the first time, and before the man stop, before he become a prime minister, the man coming as prime minister, he just can't stop thief. He just can't stop thief. You know, sir? May I tell somebody, say, you know, sir, somebody set the man up a thief because they want to go to prison. Whoever set you so a prison they want to go. You want your thief. How will you have it all and don't need to thief no more? They must set this man for thief. A prison want you go. They set this man, they got to set you for thief, bro. They have to set you for thief. They must set you for thief. A prison where they want you go. I set them set you so. Don't tell me say I'm stupid. That you see your Zara Burton come, dig up dirt on you. Then you see the Integrity Commission come verify Zara Burton work and dig up even more than what Zara Burton could have dig up and show we all the skullduggery what he was doing there. We have a third report. Again, this is the second report for the Integrity. But the third in total, what we know about, one from Zara, two from the Integrity Commission report. Yeah, for the Integrity Commission. And this is the third time again. Not more criminality. No good life to find the Prime Minister in. There's no question that the Prime Minister is crooked. He's a crooked thieving man. And anybody prove me otherwise, is that look here, stand to be corrected. The Prime Minister is a crooked thieving man. And before we get rid of him, we want to get rid of the investigators. Make sense out of that to backside.
I can't recall all of those details, but I seem to remember that he has always used the house that he lives in and get loans and that sort of thing.
We checked the title for the property where Bailey says both Holness and his wife lived at the time of our interview and found no additional loans or mortgages other than those originally taken out in 2002 when they bought the house for 7 million Jamaican dollars, around 144,000 US dollars back then. So you were satisfied then with the source of the funds in both cases?
Oh, absolutely. He saved in US stocks and amongst his portfolio. So he was saving because these are savings.
Is that savings from him alone or him and his wife?
I don't know that level of personal detail. That would be. Yeah, I don't know that level.
Of what you know, is there any evidence?
I know of nothing. I've known nothing else that he owns in relation to Adman. Okay. He currently owns it.
We checked the title for the Acadia property and found that it was indeed purchased by the same St. Lucian company, ADMAT Incorporated, in 2008, again when Holness was Minister of Education. The price tag, 16 million Jamaican dollars, around 219,000 US back then, and again, no mortgage was listed. Further, we also checked whether ADMAT owned additional properties and found one more. A half-acre lot, also bought in Beverly Hills on Wycliffe Close in February 2009, also when Holness was Minister of Education, price tag around 15 million Jamaican dollars, almost 173,000 US dollars, and again, no mortgage listed. So you've never heard of this Wycliffe Close property before today?
Let me put it this way. I have never handled, and when I look at the transfer, I see the names of lawyers who I know.
Shut your ass up. Damn crooked. No mortgage listed. That means that the Prime Minister buy him stuff, them cash. Him have so much money that him no own no mortgage like me and you. Me and you were poor if you pay a mortgage. Him no own no mortgage. Remember, him on a Prime Minister yet, you know? Remember the man on a Prime Minister, all them a sit them a find pan the man. All them a corruption they hear them and foot a cover. No, the man on a Prime Minister yet. So the man have a pattern. The man have a pattern. And this is the man they must fight to keep, but the investigators must stay. Tell me if the JLP party not sick in them head.
That it was indeed purchased by the same St. Lucian company, ADMAT Incorporated, in 2008, again when Holness was Minister of Education. The price tag, 16 million Jamaican dollars, around 219,000 US back then, and again, no mortgage was listed. Further, we also checked whether ADMAT owned additional properties and found one more. A half-acre lot, also bought in Beverly Hills on Wycliffe Close in February 2009, also when Holness was Minister of Education, price tag around 15 million Jamaican dollars, almost 173,000 US dollars, and again, no mortgage listed.
People, I want to believe him get them the money from. I want to believe him get them the money from. Him and Prime Minister yet, The man and the prime minister yet, you know? Mr. Simit is not the prime minister as yet.
You've never heard of this Wakefield Close property before today?
Let me put it this way. I have never handled, and when I look at the transfer, I see the names of lawyers who I know. And he's entitled to have more than one lawyer. We all have to eat.
So all told, when it comes to properties, there's the Great House Boulevard home that Holness and his wife bought with a mortgage while Holness was a mere member of parliament. And in the 4 years he was Minister of Education, earning the equivalent of around $60,000 per year or $90,000 with allowances, there was the Arcadia apartment, no mortgage listed. The land at Waycliffe Close in Beverly Hills, no mortgage listed. The land for the Shenstone Beverly Hills house he's building, no mortgage listed. And around $525,000 spent building the house in the 3 years after Holness's Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011.
Wow.
Holness, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he didn't. He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March 2016, but he didn't. Despite several calls to Juliet Holness, a property developer, chartered accountant, and newly elected member of parliament, she didn't get back to us.
People, real criminal we have seen on before we. And I did man them try to keep in the office. Man, yo.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me don't like people tell lie for me.
In 3 years after Holness's Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011. Holness, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he didn't. He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March.
People, man, can't show the source of fund. A long time I do it. Before, people don't know. And I know they can't show, people know the man at 28 account and can't show source of fund. Where money come from. The man at foundation and can't show the source of fund. The man been doing this sticky finger thing from before the man is a prime minister. And this is the man they must fight for keep, but the investigator must step down. On the favor load of dog.
2016, but he didn't. Despite several calls to Juliet Holness, property developer in 2011. Holness, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he didn't. He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March 2016, but he didn't.
Yes, he said, I know the man have the tax problem. He said, I know the man have like a thieving problem. He like them set the man for thief. It's like them set the man for thief no matter what. Right now, when this happening, you know, him not supposed to, the man not supposed to nothing more, you know. Right now, this man not supposed to want nothing more, him all right and fix him and a whole property now. He's not supposed to get caught up in this, so we are sitting in an office right now, you know. He's not supposed to get caught up in this, you know. From Zara Burn to investigate me, if me use a thief, me that stop thief.
Despite several calls to Juliet Holness, a property developer, chartered accountant, and newly elected member of parliament, she didn't get back to us.
Eh?
Would again reduce transfer taxes, stamp duties, and estate tax.
What about property taxes?
Nobody pay, he has to pay property tax.
At the time of our initial checks in the 2 weeks before the election, the house in Beverly Hills had an outstanding balance since 2013 on the tax administration's website.
What?
Amount about $174,000 or.
The man have a pattern. Listen to Zara Burton and show you so. All the pattern you see right now. Everything he's been accused of right now. All the allegation against him right now in the Integrity Commission before him clear to office and go along where I go. Them are here and I bet this man talk about the best prime minister. The man been sticky finger before him become a prime minister. Listen good.
US $1,400 approximately. Property taxes on the Waycliffe Close land in Beverly Hills were listed as not having been paid since 2009, a total of about $175,000 or US around $1,400. And the Great House Boulevard home that he owned with his wife, Juliette, that was listed as outstanding since 2014, owing Jamaicans $64,000 or about 526 US dollars. We call the tax administration to confirm. Volume is 1118.
Andrew Holness.
Yeah.
The amount is $64,000 outstanding and $50 for 2 years.
All in, Holness or his entities were listed at the time as owing almost 413,000 Jamaican dollars, around 3,400 US dollars. It wasn't clear if there were any amounts owing for the apartment at Arcadia Drive. Caroline Hay, former Deputy Director of Public Prosecution, says, in general, no leader should be backed up on their taxes. We did not ask her specifically about Holness.
No public official ought to be behind on their taxes. You are in a position, when you're a public official, in a position of trust, and one would imagine an example to the nation as to what values we want in positions of leadership.
Days after 18 Degrees North brought it to Holness's attention, and before the election, the tax administration's website reflected zero balances for the two Beverly Hills properties at Shenstone Drive and Wycliffe Close. However, taxes on the house he owns with his wife were still listed as owing as of our last check, March 18th, 2016, even as he became Prime Minister of Jamaica for a second time.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica.
Coming up on 18 Degrees North, too close for comfort? How Andrew Holness signed off on taxpayers' money for a contract to his associates. 18 Degrees North just uncovered a trail of property purchases linked to Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. Now see how that trail led us down another path, that of government contracts awarded to his associates.
Listen, the pattern. Government contract awarded to associates. Have all type of sitting and can't tell how you get the funds. Have all this riches and can't show how you make it. Hiding and dodging stuff. The investigator, Zara Burton, have to dig up stuff because the man was not upfront with her. Listen, your people. A long time the man finger sticky.
Yes.
Long time. Long time man finger sticky boy, your people. And I come.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me not like people tell lie for me.
And like one of my brethren called me yesterday and said, Carlos, would it be fitting, the man called me from the garrison. So Carlos, how come this your brother not tell me how him get rich? And the whole of we come from the ghetto. How him not tell us when he get rich and him want to get rich? People a long time Mr. Simit, finger sticky. A long time Mr. Finger Simit, finger sticky. Long time, people. This a man ever come out of office, make the investigation go on, Andrew must step down. Him have a history, him have a pattern. It's not the first time. So this is the man they want to keep in the office, but we must get rid of the investigator. Make sense of this?
Coming up on 18 Degrees North, too close for comfort? How Andrew Holness signed off on taxpayers' money for a contract to his associates. 18 Degrees North just uncovered a trail of property purchases linked to Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. Now see how that trail led us down another path, that of government contracts awarded to his associates.
Corruption will not be tolerated in this government.
The property at Wycliffe Close in Beverly Hills remains an open lot today. As it turns out, the owner, Andrew Holness's ADMAT Incorporated, applied to the National Environmental Planning Agency to build townhouses in 2010.
Listen. In 2010, he applied to NEPA to build townhouses, but he was turned down by NEPA Where do you think NEPA is right now? Under his control, under in his office, in a firm hand. So basically, nobody from NEPA can tell him no more. So him can't be less so. The man is conniving. The man for step down. At this they want to keep. Andrew must step down out of office, man. He must step down and make the investigation go on, man. Do the right thing, man. Where do you think you are, man? A 40 other them, and millions of us. A 40 other them want to keep this piece of excrement from down a Riverton in an office while investigators are going. Anybody on the investigation on the job, police, teacher, anybody, you step off while the investigation are going. You don't get for that if you interfere. No, sir.
But that application was turned down. Representing ADMAT in this application was one Robert Garvin.
And Robert Garvin is not a director in any way, shape, or form of ADMAT.
No, he's not.
But why would Robert Garvin's name then appear on an application to the land development?
Because he acting as agent, he's in the process.
Okay.
That's not unusual.
According to Companies Office records, Robert Garvin is or was the director of other entities affiliated with Andrew or Juliet Holness: Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, Sunshine Mobile, West Central St. Andrew Trust Limited, Omega Bridge Finance, and the now removed Toledo Taxi Service.
Who is Robert Garvin?
Garvin?
Robert Garvin.
Never met the name, never heard the name. But I do remember Positive. But I did set up Positive Jamaica, I remember that.
Right, but he won it. Positive Jamaica is in part a director by Garvin.
I know he was a director of
what about the fact that Garvin used this address, 28 Herb McKinley?
Because this is my address, is precisely what I'm saying. You're at 28 Herb McKinley.
I know. Why Robert Garvin used it?
Because we set up the company here. Garvin, I'm not saying that. I don't remember the name.
Separately, Robert Garvin is also listed as the director of Westcon Construction, along with one Donovan Simpson. Garvin used the address 25 Dominica Drive while setting up Westcon, the same address he and Holness used when registering West Central St. Andrew Trust Limited. Government records show Westcon Construction as receiving 14 government contracts, totaling 28.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around $386,000. This was between 2006 and 2009, even as Holness or his wife shared directorships with Garvin on 4 entities. 12 of the 14 contracts were under the JLP government with...
Hold on. So them people are waltzing Andrew Holness' whole idea in an office to come serve. It's just to grift the country. It's just to rob from the country, Andrew Holness. Kind of like you start doing this thing way before you come in there. Andrew Holness, your whole purpose of to grip the country. You should step down. You should step down while this investigation are going on. You can't have 49 of them want to come dictate to how much million Jamaican people that this crooked man for stay in the office. You can't have 49 people because they want to continue with the crookedness, because they benefit from the gravy train also. Because while this man a busy a thief, him now look at who else a thief. It's a free for all. Everybody thieving. Them think that this man we must stay in the office. It's 40 other them. It's millions of us. This man must step down. This man is a crook.
Which Holness has a career-long affiliation. 9 of the 14 list 0 or only 1 tender. 10 of the 14 were granted by the Minister of Education when Andrew Holness was minister, and by the National Works Agency and Social Development Commission for work in Holness's constituency.
Cool.
Holness even instructed the Social Development Commission to pay Westcon Construction just under 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around US $21,000 back then. He signed the document himself.
Yes.
There was only one bidder for cleaning, bushing, and trimming of the roadways in Holness's constituency of West Central St. Andrew, and no procurement committee approval. Payment was requested by Holness December 20th, 2007, and paid promptly on the same day.
Robin Hood Gold.
People, the man cooking so still.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister around the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and start making excuses for them.
Instructed the Social Development Commission to pay Westcon Construction just under $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around US, or only one tender, $86,000 US. This was between 2006 and 2009, even as Holness or his wife shared directorships with Garvin on 4 entities. 12 of the 14 contracts were under the GLP government, with which Holness has a career-long affiliation. 9 of the 14 list 0 or only one tender. 10 of the 14 were granted by the Minister of Education when Andrew Holness was minister, and by the National Works Agency and Social Development Commission for work in Holness's constituency. Holness even instructed the Social Development Commission to pay Westcon Construction just under $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around US 21.
Holness instructed. So what did it? Me say this man will be in office is to take from the poor people. Before him even become a prime minister, the man take from poor people. This brother needs to step down. This brother is very dishonest. Andrew Holness is a very dishonest man. And the rest of them in the party don't see the need for this man to get up. Eh? 40 of them. You have 49 of them, and the 48 of them, I make one man drag the country, drag the whole party. That means the whole of them need to clear out the office, because I do not trust their judgment. If none of them can see wrong and call it out and say, man, they need to step out, step away. All of them need to clear out. Trust me.
$1,000 back then. He signed the document himself. There was only one bidder for cleaning, bushing, and trimming of the roadways in Holness's constituency of West Central St. Andrew, and no procurement committee approval.
No.
Payment was requested by Holness December 20th, 2007, and paid promptly on the same day. When contacted in a general sense, the current Social Development Commission head, Dwayne Vernon, said, while not the norm, it is possible to have a request and payment on the same day, especially when there's a contract in place with stated payment dates. Vernon, who didn't address this contract specifically, also said, the SDC does not procure for constituencies. This is the prerogative of the MP and his or her project.
People. Them a thief, everything, them a thief. Thief like wild chicken, them a thief. Them a thief, everything, them a thief. Thief like wild chicken, they no honor you. If you no thief anything, put you on in the pot at the fried dumpling, they no honor you. If you no thief anything, put you on in the pot at the fried dumpling, them a thief. Them a thief, everything, them a thief. Thief like wild chicken, them a thief. Them a thief, everything, them a...
Officer. Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says awarding of government contracts in Jamaica has been a long-standing cause for concern.
When each side is in government, there are uncomfortable levels of awarding of contracts to persons who are either political supporters, campaign financiers, or other connected parties.
We asked Holness whether he declared his relationship with Garvin while contracts were being awarded to Westcon Construction, but he didn't get back to us. We called Garvin, but he said he couldn't talk at the time, and he didn't answer our text message. When contacted, Garvin's partner in Westcon Construction, Donovan Simpson, he tried to distance himself from the inner workings of the company. So you didn't benefit from these contracts, that's what you're saying? No. Even though his name is not on the filing, is Andrew Holness a part of this company?
No, not to my knowledge. No, man, he's not a part of it.
Do you know if Garvin is a friend of Andrew Holness?
Yes, yeah, man, they are friends. They are very close. Before Andrew went in politics, you know. I met him at Seagal's office because he worked on Seagal.
Long time I do people. I'm about to turn.
Okay.
It must be Andrew is when Robert invited me to Seagal's office in New Kingston.
We searched, but could find no record of Holness declaring his relationship with Robert Garvin or Donovan Simpson. And the Office of the Contractor General would only say that we should request an investigation, which we did. When asked in a general sense, and not about Holness specifically, Caroline Hayes says these kinds of relationships should be declared.
Wow.
In the procurement rules and guidelines, there's been a concern about whether there is a connection either directly meaning you have an interest in a company that's bidding for public assets and public benefit, or indirectly, meaning it's in the name of a wife, in the name of a girlfriend, in the name of a child, in the name of an associate. It's a duty of all staff and any other public officers and officials directly or indirectly involved in the procurement process, especially in the preparation of bidding documents, evaluation, contract negotiations, contract management, and payments, to declare any potential conflicts of interest.
Whether Holness declared his relationship with Garvin remains unclear. However, Bailey, his attorney, is adamant that all assets associated with Andrew Holness were declared.
Every case, everything that he has owned from the time that from even the time he set up ADMAT, going back to 2001, everything has been declared.
We checked with the Integrity Commission, but no one ever got back to us. Information submitted is usually confidential.
The law that governs it explicitly states that these declarations cannot be made public. And if they are made public, whoever makes them public is subject to a fine of over $1 million, right? These declarations of assets need to be brought under the ambit of the Access to Information Act so that we can request to see and be given or given a good reason why we can't be given.
In Jamaica, breaches of the rules governing the awarding of government contracts carry a possible fine of $1,000 or around $8 and or
people, you see, if them leak the documents of $1 million, breaches of contract rules is $8. So why would politicians stop in breach the rule? Them keep them their local laws there, so politicians benefit from that $8. No trouble. They can breach the rules all day. But this is the man who don't want an investigation into his illicit enrichment. You so much property in got. I can't tell how he get it. Him no want an investigation in them. Real crook as a prime minister. And this a man them a fight to keep, but we must get rid of the investigator. Not a cackafart.
3 months in prison. See what happens when we try to get answers from Andrew Holness on the campaign trail. Can you give me a sense of who Robert Garvin is? That's next on 18 Degrees North.
Ensure can help you reduce. I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
People, the whole 48 labor right now have the moral intelligence for knowing a man to step down. They might try to keep this man and force a corrupt man on us. It shows that them are dunce. None of them are ready to lead. None of them are ready to lead. You have 49 people and they might make one man. The 48 of them might make one man mess up everything and mess up the country. It shows that the whole of them must come out of office. People, all of them.
Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, may have wrested control from the People's National Party, in part because of his 10-point tax plan. During the election campaign, though, there were skeptics. Critics charged, how was he going to plug the millions in lost revenues in US dollar terms when his plan would essentially eliminate income tax on those earning the equivalent of around $12,000 or less? Holness's plan was to spur spending and generate more revenue from consumption tax while raising taxes on high-end earners. We caught up with Holness on the campaign trail. We asked him what else he had up his sleeve and why at the time was he listed as being behind on his property taxes.
Want to see that, people? Want to see the man of a pattern? The man not pay revenue in Jamaica, not pay taxes to the country. The man that's going there for no help the country, does help him, not even taxes. Jamaica been so good to you, got so much riches off of Jamaica, not even taxes. That brother have to come out of office, man.
where is the economy going? Have you done any analysis of your tax plan and what economic growth is going to look like in your first year?
I wouldn't want to give you a specific figure.
Your analysis must have produced something that is tangible for the people to understand.
Yeah, but I didn't say I would give you that figure.
But it has produced a figure.
Of course. Okay. Otherwise, why would we do the analysis?
Give me a general sense of where we have on the low end, the top end.
I would say to you that if you're going to talk about economic growth, you should be above 3%.
Okay, that's a fair statement to me. Let's talk about some of the other taxes that you, tax incentives and lower rates. And
so
I think there was mention of some transfer taxes as well.
In general, our tax plan is to reduce transaction taxes. A part of economic growth is to get the velocity of transactions increasing, and particularly in construction and real estate, because those are major employment areas. So we will bring to the levels which we had them before our transfer tax and stamp duties, and estate taxes as well.
You seem to don't like taxes too much because
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a small government, free enterprise person. I believe that markets work best and taxes are distortionary.
Okay. Is that why you didn't pay the property taxes on the home?
No, my property taxes are paid.
On the THS website, when we did the valuation numbers for your properties, the outstanding taxes are there.
No, my taxes are paid.
When we looked, there was your Great House Boulevard property. There was your property that's owned by ADMAT, which you say you're sole director of. And then there's another property that we actually found under ADMAT as well, up at Wycliffe Close. All three were outstanding. And then we saw that at Wycliffe Close, taxes seem to have been outstanding since 2009. What about the other property, though, at Wycliffe Close?
That I would have to check on. I mean, that's been there for a little while, so I'll have to check on. But I don't want to distract from the message.
No, but you are the person that's saying that you don't necessarily love taxes, yeah? And so you are the lead. You are a leader of this country, potentially the premier leader of this country come next week. And so I'm asking you the question, as the leader of a country, do you believe that your taxes should have been more up to date than the record reflects?
What I'm saying to you, from my best recollection, I've paid my taxes. Now, if it is that they are outstanding, it's not an issue to pay them.
Okay.
I'm not hiding from that.
But ADMAT is designed for you to avoid potential estate taxes and transfer taxes.
No, it's designed for estate planning purposes.
For estate planning purposes, that means basically that you avoid some sort of taxes. And I'm saying, does it look good for a leader of a country?
I'm not clear that when we set it up, it was never to avoid any kind of taxes. And it's not likely that I would be able to sell everything. It was set up merely as a way of holding assets. It's a holding company. That's it. But in any event, let's be clear. Any citizen of any country is permitted. It's not illegal. To establish, and many persons have.
No doubt. I'm not talking about the legality. I'm more talking about, does it look good for a leader to be trying to set up their situation so that they avoid paying tax?
No. Any company can, I think, avoid being in a situation. Look, but my view on the matter is this: you should plan your estate and plan for taxes the best way possible.
You just said a while ago that you don't see a sense where you would be able to sell everything. What's everything? What's everything?
You mentioned two properties.
Here's Wycliffe Close, which is an open land right now.
Look, we'll talk again.
No, one thing I wanted to ask you about.
You've gone over the 10 minutes.
Mr. Holness, I must ask you a question. Can you give me a sense of who Robert Garvin is?
He's the company executive, but
what's your relationship with him? So this is where we bring 18 Degrees North to a close for this week. Join us online, look us up on Twitter or on Facebook.
18 Degrees Zara Burton, people. One of the best investigations ever done out of Jamaica. And that is almost 8 years ago. I want you to understand this report right there, so she was sued by the Prime Minister. She was sued because he did not want this to get up on her. I think him sue her on a TV station in Jamaica. Him did not want this to get out there. And this is 8 years ago. And this is current. This is what the Prime Minister still do, even after 8 years ago. Listen to this. It's still current to go out with the skullduggery. Brother, it let them set you so. It's like somebody set you to go to prison. You already set, you have everything you need. Wait before you become a Prime Minister. And the brother look like him still in their teeth. These are some serious allegations. And them have this brother cock up in there and I praise him about my Prime Minister, best Prime Minister, while in office.
Prime Minister and Party Leader Andrew Holness.
Is what happened to borrowed money. Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it.
Is the man of integrity.
A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over 143,000 US dollars, which came from SSL.
In full support
of the best Prime Minister. And in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to address this and explain how and why that money came into his account from SSL.
And I am very lucky
to have an outstanding Prime Minister.
It was deeply concerning to me, and I'm sure that it must be deeply concerning to all the people who not only lost money, but know people who lost money. And you know the number one concern is what happened to borrowed money.
A leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation. I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had.
We have that, people. This is current, you know. When we talk about Zara birthday, you know, it's a man no stop. You're like somebody set the man to thief all the way to prison. Or when they have it still a thief. Look what the man is doing right now. The man is taking from his own goddamn charity. Tell me, say that man is no klepto. Tell me, say no set him for thief.
This is actually one of the more disturbing features, because what the investigation of the Integrity Commission has revealed is that funds were used from a charity. It's called Positive Foundation, Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charity which, you know, by definition would have charitable purposes. And some funds in the region of approximately 32,000 US dollars were diverted to pay for a bond in the name of Mr. Holness.
Or his company, his personal company.
And I believe at some point it may have been either in his or his personal holding company, which he owns 100%. And it remained in that form for the life of the bond until it was called. And it was only after the bond had been redeemed and that transaction was now, in a sense, extinct.
Is it reasonable?
Closed. That, just allow me to finish, that upon questioning by the Director of Investigation that an attempt was made to repay that charitable foundation. So approximately 4 years had elapsed when the funds from the charitable foundation had been used to partially pay for a bond in the name of or for the benefit of Mr. Holness.
And the interest payments on the bond went into him or his personal company's account. And it's only when the Integrity Commission itself looked into this thing and said, hey, but some of the funding for this, 32,000 US of the 94,000 US cost of the bond, came from a charity with which Mr. Holness is very closely associated and is a director. That the necessary rearrangements of the thing were done and the money was returned to the charity. So for several years, he declared that bond as being his or his company's, and he received the payments under that bond.
People, when I talk about 7, 8 years ago, when like Zara Burton, people, this are current. Them are current. This is what the Integrity Commission catch him and do. After Zara Burton put him out there, the Integrity Commission did an investigation upon him and expose him again. And this is the second time the Integrity Commission did upon him again. The brother have a pattern of thieving. And like somebody set him boss, when you have still thief away straight to prison. I promise you, the brother got thief him way to prison. Somebody set himself. This is not normal. No, you just hear say the man who open bank account. And in days, empty bank account, open bank account without $1 in there. $1. So it seems as if him a work with the banker work with him. Seems as if, just like KD Knight said, him alone couldn't pull it off. Him have aiders and abettors and conspirators. So him alone couldn't pull it off. How you can own bank account without $1? Yeah? So now you also hear when I take from him own charity. It's not okay to take from a charity, but this man is not taking from his charity people to buy food. I'm rent due, the mortgage due, the youth want some school fee, like so many of us who have problems financially. Yeah, you know, take from the charity money, go do that and spend on that and make your life better. The man take the charity money, go buy stocks. The man take charity money, go buy stocks. Tell Auntie Dana if you do that now. Tell anybody who use charity money to help people, make them do that and say they're going to go straight to prison. But this man that can take charity money. People, but listen what I go on, man. Why is it okay for this man to use charity money and nobody burn him out? The man take charity money when he get to spend on himself. Not thief that. Not thief that. Then listen again. The man going to parliament and say no know about the money in bank account to parents them have. Him claims say from 1975 them open the bank account. He want to make it look like say the bank account them now work and I just take them. This is recent. This is current. The brother finger on a theme. Listen what I go on with him parents. All him parents, the man dragging and crime. His parents, listen to this.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, it's important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness's attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So, in essence...
Let me stop that. Come up and play it again. Let me stop. I want for the guys I hear what go on now. This is a crooked man, them are all on pan and want we to get rid of the investigators. So he tell me, and Andrew Holness alone a thief in the Labour Party. I know him alone. All this allegation, he tell me say I know him alone a thief. So everybody I work hard to keep the loot that them got. Everybody in the Labour Party. It's like the man who open up the whole party and say, no thief, come here thief too. We might not win the next term. We might just get 1 term. So on a thief. Even before the man turned prime minister, the man a thief. But why you have to bring your parents tonight? Why you have to bring your mom and dad? Them not deserve this. Them not deserve this. This is brother thief. So tell him just, brother, believe me. I set them set you. So you know start thief until you find yourself a prison.
So there are 2 separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those 2 separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, It's important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness's attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Holness said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Holness being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
So now that you hear all of that, people, tell me who to step down. Is it Mr. Panther that's a owner thief nothing? Or the thief? May I ask a question? Who should step down? Is it Mr. Pantan, who's the investigator, or we should get rid of the thief? I will never get this a problem. This is some attack on the investigators because the investigator corruption. But Mr. Pantan must step down for what? Ask the thief to step down. A long time him a thief. Ask the thief to step down. A long time the thief a thief. What kind of leader this? What kind of leader? What kind of thieving leader we have here? What kind of thieving leader does this man will take milk out of coffee and steal biscuit from the baby them? What kind of thieving leader we have from Cumberland Road, Punish Town? And what kind of thieving leader this? No, seriously, and what kind of thieving leader? The labor right now want force we to keep in the office. And what kind of thieving leader this? And what kind of criminality this? I don't want to get we don't want to tell yourself to get rid of Mr. Panther. We don't get to keep the thief. That means I pay a thief upon the bus then. If all of them are people, I put an arm around the thief. Can you imagine what the rest of them are do? We can't wait for the other 6 report to be tabled in Parliament. We can't wait for the other 6. Come I like to know when wife I do. I don't like to know when wife I do. When you see Miguel sitting drop out there, film reporter, I hate the media. And you see film stuff is just tax avoidance. But this over there, film a shipload of problem, a shipload of headache. Can you imagine for him wife? Can you imagine if him one of 28 account? How much the wife got? The woman normally have more account than men. And how much them have together? So how many accounts in a one household? If him and one have 28 account, then the wife she have, coming out females always have more account than male. She got have more than that, right? And how much they have together? This is a thief, real thief. No, real thief. And they want to keep the thief and get rid of the investigator. Make sense out of that, no man. Jamaica is at its lowest, people. How the labor make it stay. So based on what you just see a while ago, beautiful people. Tell me, who should resign? Who should step down? What we just play for you a while ago, who should step down? Who should step down, people? They attack. Who should step down? All right, so you make your own decision. But no, they want to keep the career criminal. Such man is a career criminal. That's what you call a career criminal. You have some people that's a career criminal. They can't stop them from thief. I do crime them in and out of prison. Such man is a career criminal. He's one of them. He is a career criminal. But they want to keep the career criminal and attack. This man is a retired justice judge. The man is a retired judge. So I'm doing work already for Jamaica. Him serve. He's a justice. And all these people have good integrity. I see it. I see it because there's no leak from the Integrity Commission. Whenever you want to hear something that is placed in Centre Parliament from the Integrity Commission, I normally go over Cliff Hughes nationwide, go listen for leak information from the document. These people don't leak. It's only whenever you hear a leak, it's only when it's sent to Parliament. then everybody in the blogging field know where to go look to find leak from information coming from the investigation. Guys, tell me what you're thinking in the comment section. Who should have stepped down? The investigator or the crook? Me want to know if a corruption over country or a country over corruption. Me want to know this morning, is it country over corruption or corruption over country? The labor right them in a power put the corruption above the country. Them no business what nobody else feel and how nobody else say and what nobody else look at it. They're no business. It's just self-serving. So the labor right in the dirty bus, the whole of them put themselves over the nation. Then put corruption over the nation. Corruption come first over country. I want you guys to understand what you're looking at. For the labor rights right here at the dirty bus, for them, corruption comes before the country. I think all of these guys need to leave office. They all should be investigated, found guilty, should be thrown in prison. This is a dirty bus, and the bus, Mr. Man who beat woman with stool, nothing happened to them. And this dirty bus, Mr. Man who was given millions of dollars to buy police cars. Money was robbed up, police never get the cars, the man still on the bus. There's so much crooked corruption going on this bus. On this bus, you have a man on it whose name is on WikiLeaks as an organized criminal, crime boss, just corrupt, but he's in the back sleeping. He happened to be our Minister of National Security. Mr. Jamaica can't get no worse, people. Hey, the Minister of National Security naming a WikiLeaks like a criminal. People, me say, the Minister of National Security name is in WikiLeaks as an organized criminal. I repeat, our Minister of National Security name is in WikiLeaks via the US as a criminal. That is Jamaica in a nutshell. It's a criminal organization. That's what we look at it. This is not a government. This brother put everybody in at the post them who are misfits. That's what they call square peg going in the round hole. Now fit. This is what they call misfits. You place these people in part of the government where you want to mash up and destroy and wreck. How is it a man who is the Minister of National Security can't fly come a foreign? How is it the man who is the Minister of National Security name is in WikiLeaks looking like that? So you just get the bad people and put them in a position. As some Trumpism, you know. Square peg in a round hole. Thank you guys for watching this video. Tell me what you think. My name is Jamaican Carlos. It's a pleasure coming out here this morning, come show you guys these things and make you guys hear. See a long time this brother have a pattern of thieving. To me, it's like somebody said him to thief and then asked stop thief. These are some serious allegations where I love to see trash out in the court before a judge and the judge send his brother to prison. Honestly, tell me what you think in the comment section, my beautiful people. Tell me who should go. Is it Mr. Pantan or Andrew Holness? Is it the investigator or the crook? Who should go? Thank you for watching this video. Gentle people, my name is Jamaican Carlos. I'm out.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives.
We all see what's happening with Andrew and the Integrity Commission, so let me explain it to you as best as I can in layman's terms based on what my understanding of the article and the documents that I've read are. So essentially, Andrew Holness and his wife owned a number of companies. In their earnings reports over the last few years, there are some inconsistencies in the growth of their earnings and their net worth and assets and deposits. So essentially, what the Integrity Commission is now saying is that in order for them to certify his earnings, they would need to have a further breakdown of his expenditures and expenses for each of the companies. So they would need that in order to then go ahead and certify and say he's okay. So essentially, Andrew is saying that he's not willing to give them that because that is a breach of his privacy. So what he is now challenging is a portion of anti-corruption legislation, saying that is unconstitutional because what they're asking for does not protect his privacy. And everything that's in the Constitution, such as the right to privacy, it takes precedence, meaning that it supersedes anything that comes after, such as like anti-corruption legislation. So if, in essence, it breaches his constitutional right for privacy, then he does somewhat have a case. Now, I'm a huge supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. Everybody knows this. However, at this juncture, I'm not able to continue to make excuses for the Prime Minister. What he is attempting to do is actually quite disgraceful and disappointing. Years from now, we will look back at the Andrew Holness tenure and be disgusted at some of the things that we have allowed to happen. Now, while I have genuine love for Andrew and I think he is much better of a leader than the opposition, I think that there are a lot of blunders that have happened in his leadership. The Prime Minister's wife being in representational politics has always caused ethical concerns. The fact that he snuck her in as a member of Parliament and then promoted her to Speaker of the House is highly inappropriate. And while I don't question her effectiveness, as I think she's excelled in both roles, it's definitely always been a conflict of interest. While I've traditionally supported the Jamaican Labour Party and Andrew Holness and his administration, I think that it would be in very good taste if he just gave them what they wanted. It would also show that he respects the Integrity Commission and the anti-corruption legislation. The fact that he's going to these lengths to not comply with their requests shows that he has a lot to hide.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame. What a travesty. Calls for us to think and think deep.
Mr. Prime Minister, Minister of Health and Wellness, those of you who craft this order, I don't know what to say to you, but the Holy Ghost within me tells me that this order is working against the church, is working against the body of Christ. Mr. Prime Minister, I was watching a program last night and you declare me to be your good friend. My good friend, I'm telling you, sir, this order, God gets no glory out of it. And it's making the society worse than it ought to be. You're crippling the fountain of life that gives life to the nation. You're blocking the well. Somebody give me a chance in this house and plant this. You're blocking the well. You're stopping the fountain. Loose the church, loose the church, loose the church, loose the church, loose the church. You're destroying the foundation. And if the foundation be destroyed, what can the nation do?